Did you know that your current lifestyle habits play a critical role in your brain health and cognitive functions 20 to 30 years from now? I've recently listened to a couple of interviews with Dr. Kristen Willemeyer, who's a neuroscientist and also the author of Biohack Your Brain. I learned a ton of helpful information on how we can improve our brain's health and our brain's performance. And I would love to share that with you today because here's the thing. Did you know that the cellular damage that leads to dementia and Alzheimer's begins 2 decades before the first symptoms appear? This means that even though the early signs of Alzheimer's and dementia usually appear around the age of 60 or later, the cellular damage can start at age 40. And if you're in your 20s or in your 30s, I'm in my 30s, our lifestyle habits, the lifestyle habits that we have right now do matter. I have seen people in my family lose their autonomy and quality of life because of cognitive decline, and I can tell you that if there's something I can do to prevent this from happening to me, I will absolutely do it. And there are very simple things we can do. We can prevent or at least slow down brain aging by making very small changes in our lifestyle, and the sooner we make those changes, the better. So here we go. 7 ways to boost brain power and keep your mind sharp for the years to come. Just note that these practices are very simple, but it must be done consistently over time to have a real positive effect on your brain. So a first simple way to improve cognitive function is to use your non-dominant hand to do simple tasks every day, like brushing your teeth. Doing this will strengthen neural connections in your brain and even grow new ones. Or another thing you could do is to write down a couple of sentences using your non-dominant hand every day. Personally, I have a lot of difficulty brushing my teeth with my left hand, with my non-dominant hand, so I've been using the second option. Every morning I write down, using my non-dominant hand, 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things that would make the day great, and my daily affirmation in the 5-minute journal. And combining the task of writing with my non-dominant hand with a habit that I already have, like using the 5-minute journal, well, combining the two helps me not forget to do it. So that's healthy brain habit number 1, use your non-dominant hand to execute a simple task every day. The second thing is to learn something new every day. So it's said that the major risk for brain aging is cognitive inactivity, not using our brains. And you can easily prevent this from happening by continually learning new things. In the podcast interview, Dr. Willemeyer recommended to learn a new word every day. You could also learn a new word or even a short sentence in another language every day. And if you do this every day, within a year, you almost know an entire new language. Or even better, you could also learn something new in your second language. For example, when I wanted to learn and get better at English, I read magazines like Discover and the National Geographic. I looked up words I didn't know, and this way I learned new vocabulary. And at the same time, I was learning about topics that interested me. So healthy brain habit number 2 is to learn something new every day. The third habit is to increase blood flow to your brain. Moderate exercise increases blood flow and sends more oxygen and nutrients to the brain, which helps keep brain cells healthy and grow new neurons. And you don't need to run sprints, but the exercise intensity should be high enough to raise your heart rate a little bit. On the podcast, Dr. Willemeyer recommended going for at least a 10-minute brisk walk, meaning walking 100 steps per minute or faster every day. But she also said that 30 to 40 minutes of exercise daily is even better. And you can use a pedometer app to count your steps and check your pace. And for even more benefits, you could go for your walk just after a meal. So a Japanese study showed that walking just after a meal improves glucose response. And maintaining a stable blood glucose level is another key factor for optimal health, including brain health. So healthy brain habit number 3 is to exercise for at least 10 minutes a day. So to fight the aging effect of free radicals, Dr. Willemeyer recommends eating at least 2 or 3 servings of berries per week and also a square of dark chocolate daily. It has to be 70% cacao or higher. There's a Harvard study that found that eating 2 to 3 servings of blueberries or strawberries per week slows brain aging by 2.5 years if you do it consistently over time. And that's because berries and cacao contain high amounts of antioxidants which neutralize free radicals, and free radicals cause cellular damage and aging. So healthy brain habit number 4 is to eat a minimum of 2 to 3 servings of berries per week and indulge in a square of dark chocolate every day. The 5th habit is to ditch sugary food. Research shows that excess sugar speeds up brain aging. But how much sugar is too much sugar? Well, the American Heart Association recommends that women have no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day and men no more than 35 grams. which is way less than what the average person eats every day. Perhaps the best way to reduce our sugar intake is to avoid eating packaged food and drinking sodas. I have a very sweet tooth, so limiting my sugars to 25 grams per day was not an easy task, but I think I've found a solution. So for the past couple of weeks, instead of eating cookies for dessert, I've been making a special antioxidant yogurt recipe. So I'm gonna give you the recipe in case you wanna try it. So first I blend about 4 fresh dates with a tiny bit of water to get a sort of a date paste. Then I mix the dates with plain vegan yogurt. I usually used oat-based, but you could use regular yogurt. And then I add 2 teaspoons of pure cacao powder and I mix it up with the yogurt and dates. And then I add half a cup of frozen berries and some dark, like 70% chocolate chips. It's sweet, it's delicious, and it contains very little refined sugar, plus it's full of antioxidants. So healthy brain habit number 5, try to reduce your daily added sugar consumption to 25 grams if you're a woman, or 35 grams if you're a man. Habit number 6 is, of course, meditate daily. Because not only does meditation improve memory and concentration, but it also reduces stress. And chronic stress can damage DNA and speed up aging. It accelerates the shortening of telomeres, the caps at the end of a strand of DNA. And the excessive shortening of telomeres caused by chronic stress can lead to early cell aging and make you more prone to disease. And here's the thing, guys, studies have shown that meditation not only prevents the shortening of telomeres, but it actually lengthens them. So it's a really great daily habit to build if you want to improve your brain's health, your brain's performance, slow down aging, and keep your mind sharp. And if you're new to meditation, or if you think that you cannot meditate, I have a free 10-minute video class for you about the easiest and most popular meditation technique. It's even often called effortless meditation. So even if you think you can't meditate, you can meditate using this specific technique. So I'm gonna put the link to this free class in the description below. So that's healthy brain habit number 6, meditate a few minutes daily. And number 7 is to ground yourself. So hypertension is another major risk factor for brain aging. The American Heart Association says memory, concentration, and other cognitive functions decline faster among middle-aged and older adults who have high blood pressure than in those who don't. The good news is that lowering your blood pressure might be easier than you think. So a few years ago, I heard Dr. Stephen Sinatra, who is an American cardiologist and also the author of the book Earthing. So I heard him speak at a conference, actually heard him twice. And he talked about how earthing or grounding, which is simply walking barefoot on the natural ground, on the soil, how it's one of the most effective ways one can lower their blood pressure and reduce inflammation in the body. He said that the positive effects of grounding or earthing on our physical bodies, on our physical health, was the most significant discovery he made in his entire career as a medical doctor. You could simply walk on the grass barefoot for 15 minutes a day, or even sit on a chair in your backyard as long as your bare feet touch the soil. You could also buy a grounding mat that mimics the effect of the soil, and that's something you can use indoors. And that's healthy brain habit number 7, ground yourself a few minutes per day to reduce inflammation and lower your blood pressure. If there's one thing I retained from listening to the interviews with Dr. Willemeyer, is that we have so much power over our brain's health and in preventing cognitive decline. Also, that is something that we should think about right now, because our current lifestyle habits will impact our brain health 20 and even 30 years from now. And that's it. I hope this video was helpful to you. I really hope you're gonna use the information that I shared in this video. And if it was helpful, let me know by giving the video a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you aren't. And that's it for me. I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and I'll see you next week.